Imagine throwing a book into a black hole, not ripping it apart, not burning it, just letting it cross the event horizon. Now ask the most dangerous question in physics. Did the universe just forget what was written in that book? For decades, physicists were terrified that the answer might be yes, because if information can be destroyed, then the universe itself has no memory. And if the universe has no memory, then any cosmology built on continuity collapses. This problem has a name. It is called the black hole information paradox, and solving it quietly reshaped how we think about time, entropy, and cosmic evolution, including the ideas we have been building in this series. Now here is the original nightmare. Black holes evaporate. They slowly leak energy as something called Hawking radiation. Over extremely long times, the black hole disappears. So the question becomes unavoidable. If the black hole is gone, where did the information go? Early answer: it is gone. Destroyed, erased. That answer breaks quantum physics, because quantum physics says something sacred. Information is never destroyed. Ever. So physicists faced a choice. Either quantum mechanics fails, or black holes do not actually erase information. The universe chose the second option. The modern resolution is subtle and beautiful. Information does not fall into the black hole and vanish. Instead, some information is encoded on the event horizon. Some information passes through but remains correlated, and none of it is truly destroyed. The black hole becomes a scrambler, not an eraser. Think of a black hole like this. You throw a library into a shredder. The books are gone, but the ink molecules are still there. The correlations are still there. The information is no longer readable, but it still exists. This is the crucial distinction. Destroyed versus inaccessible. Black holes do not destroy information. They lock it, scramble it, hide it in correlations so complex that recovery is practically impossible, but not fundamentally impossible. Now hold on to that idea, because this is where black holes stop being exotic objects and start becoming cosmic teachers. Let's zoom out. What happens to the universe in a big freeze? Energy gradients disappear. Processes halt. Nothing interesting happens anymore. It looks like the end. But according to Defreeze cosmology, it is not. In a big freeze, information is not destroyed. It becomes dormant, just like in a black hole, locked in correlations, stored in the vacuum, present but inaccessible. Black holes show us something profound. The universe allows information storage without activity, without motion, without observers, without time doing anything interesting. Now here is the key insight. A black hole is a local experiment in information dormancy. A big freeze is the cosmic version of the same idea, different scale, same principle. In black holes, event horizon equal accessibility boundary. Interior equal dormant correlations. Hawking radiation equals slow re-expression. In cosmology, big freeze equal accessibility boundary. Vacuum correlations equal dormant information. Defreeze equal re-expression phase. This is not poetry. This is structure. The universe rehearsed defreeze cosmology inside black holes first. Now comes the most important leap. In modern black hole physics, information is not stored inside the hole. It is stored on the boundary, on the horizon, as if reality prefers surfaces over volumes. That idea reshaped physics. It led to holography. It led to the idea that what happens in a volume can be encoded on a boundary. Now think cosmologically. What is the universe's ultimate boundary during a big freeze? Not a wall, not a surface, but an informational horizon. a limit to what can happen, a limit to what can change. In Defreeze cosmology, information does not disappear past that limit. It accumulates, condenses, waits, just like information on a black hole horizon. And just as black holes eventually release information, very slowly, very subtly, the universe, over unimaginable timescales, may do the same. This reframes the fate of the universe. The end is not death. It is storage, not erasure, compression, dormancy, memory without motion. Now let's go one step deeper. Black holes scramble information. When it comes back out, it is not recognizable. The story is gone. But the letters remain. Defreeze cosmology says the same thing about cosmic cycles. Information survives. But laws may change. Structures may differ. What emerges is not a repeat, but a descendant. Just like you are not your ancestors, but you carry their information expressed under new conditions. The universe remembers, but it does not repeat itself. Black holes prove something radical. The universe prefers memory over meaning. Meaning is emergent, contextual, fragile. Memory is fundamental. So when you ask, how can information survive a big crunch or a big freeze? The answer is the universe already showed us, inside every black hole. Black holes are not errors in physics. They are previews. Previews of how the universe stores information when nothing else can happen. And that leads us to a stunning conclusion. The universe does not end in silence. It ends in memory. Compressed, dormant, waiting for conditions to change. Now we transition into a fascinating idea, a framework that may completely change how we understand the universe. Cosmological information. Heredity. The possibility that the universe does not simply repeat itself, but evolves, much like life. What if the universe does not repeat itself, but descends from its own past? What if every universe is not a restart, but a descendant? That the universe evolves the same way life does. Not biologically, not metaphorically, but structurally. Breaking the old cosmology intuition. For a long time, cosmology gave us only two options. Either the universe had a beginning, or it repeats itself exactly. Creation or cycle, reset or replay. But both ideas have a problem. If the universe resets, where does its structure come from again? And if it repeats, why is everything not identical every time? What if the universe does neither? What if it inherits? The core idea. Information versus laws. Here is the key distinction. There are two things we often confuse: information and laws. Information is what exists, the full record of correlations, structure, and quantum relationships. Laws are how that information behaves, the rules it follows right now. Think of this. DNA is information. Your body is how that information is expressed. Same DNA, different environments, different outcomes. The universe may work the same way. Information never dies. Expression changes. In Defreeze cosmology proposed by Mohammed Hassan Al-Ghuri, the deepest claim is simple. Information is never destroyed. Not in the big freeze, not in a big crunch, not even in a cosmic bounce. But here is the twist. Preserving information does not mean preserving laws. Just like a child inherits DNA, but does not inherit the exact life of the parent. Now, to really understand this idea, we need an analogy. Something familiar, something intuitive. So let's borrow from biology. Let's look at evolution. not as a metaphor, but as a structural parallel. Because in biology, we already know how complex systems change over time without losing their underlying information. So let's line them up step by step and see how evolution can help us understand the universe. In biology, DNA is conserved, phenotypes change. In cosmology, information is conserved, laws change. DNA does not guarantee wings, it allows possibilities. Information does not guarantee the same universe. It allows expressions. This is not poetry. It is structure. Mutation without destruction. In biology, evolution happens through mutation. But mutation does not erase DNA. It rearranges it, reweights it, recombines it. In cosmology, the equivalent is scrambling during contraction, dormancy during freeze, and reactivation during defreeze. Nothing is erased, but everything is reshuffled. Environment matters. Vacuum equal ecosystem. Genes do not act alone. They depend on environment. The same gene behaves differently in heat, cold, stress, and abundance. In cosmology, the vacuum is the environment. Different vacuum states mean different symmetries, different constants, different particles, and different space-time behavior. Same information, different cosmic ecosystem. In biology, natural selection does not plan. It simply filters. Only stable organisms persist. In cosmology, vacuum selection works the same way. Only stable laws, consistent dynamics, and survivable structures continue. Unstable law sets collapse. Stable ones persist. Just consistency. Why the universe does not repeat. This explains something crucial. Why the universe does not loop perfectly. Why cycles, if they exist, do not repeat identically. Because inheritance does not equal copying. A child is not a clone. A universe is not a replay. The universe remembers, but it does not rewind. A new picture of cosmic history. So instead of creation to end, or loop to reset, we get inheritance to transformation to re-expression. Cosmic history becomes a lineage, not a loop. A genealogy, not a circle. Here is the idea in one sentence. The universe does not restart, does not repeat, and does not forget. It inherits.